Hello, everyone, and welcome to the episode of the Caffeinated Librarians. Amanda is back, and we have a guest. Woohoo! Woo! Hello, guest. Right. She's a guest that you would have seen if you've watched any of our other episodes, which if you haven't, why not? You're missing out. So, what are we discussing today, guys?
You didn't really introduce the guest. You just said, we have a guest. But you didn't really introduce the guest.
Okay, fine. We'll start that over again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the episode of the Caffeinated Librarians. Everyone's here, and we have a guest. Say hello, guest.
Ooh. Hi.
It's Emily.
And there it is. Yeah.
I asked her to she's back.
No, you told her to say hi.
Yeah. And she could say, hi, my name is Emily.
I'm really bad at introducing myself, so.
It's Emily. Emily is with us, and you may have seen her because she was in another episode or two. Woohoo! Amanda's back. Yay, we missed her. We missed her merch so much.
Emily was on the Goofy movie episode.
Yeah.
She was.
To be fair, I
Yeah.
don't think my earrings constitute merch.
Doesn't matter,
Not
Not
Amanda.
from anything.
It's
It's
all-
an independent artist. That's
The
all.
hoodie that you're wearing, where's that from?
Nothing.
I
What,
doubt
what
it.
do you mean nothing?
It's not from a show.
You know Amanda's going to Cancun? Coming up?
I'm gonna die.
No, you're not. It's
I'm
going to be a
gonna
great
die. I'm
time.
gonna burn and die.
Oh, you might get burned.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have to sunscreen myself.
We already
for,
talked
2
about this. Yeah,
minutes.
lots of sunscreen.
Get the highest SPF going.
Lots of sunscreen.
All right, so today we're...
Speaking of burning, what are we talking about today?
Oh my.
Burning. Oh.
So,
Just like in Ocala, right?
what?
Or Kala. I keep calling it Ocala.
It's
It's not
Kala.
an Irish movie.
No, it definitely is not. So today we're talking about the first episode of Naruto, and Naruto was your suggestion.
Well, that's
so
my
let's talk
suggestion.
about it.
So, Naruto is an anime that I didn't necessarily grow up watching, but I found later in my young adult life. And it's a story about Naruto, and he's working to become a ninja in the Hidden Leaf Village, and it's filled with hijinks and shenanigans and fun stuff. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's a good way to start, to say how it starts.
Yeah.
And he is he is a fox monster. That
Well,
was-
he's
He's a catalyst for
he's
a
a
fox
ginger. What they
A
call it?
Jinchuriki.
They call it gingeric
Jinchuriki.
chinchurikis. He holds the fox spirit in him, so he's not technically a fox spirit. He's a human boy who
We're
holds
just-
the fox spirit in his
Going
body.
right into it?
Which will become
that
more
was
relevant
the,
kinda
the
later
big
on.
reveal of the episode. Some
Spoilers!
of us had never seen it before.
I was correcting Joe.
they did not get into that aspect of it in episode 1. They were just like, oh, we sealed it into a child. That was it.
Yeah, let's.
They had no proper names.
Yeah, for those of us, so this was my first time watching Naruto.
Oh, this was your first time, too?
It was my first
Nice.
time, yeah.
I thought I was the only one.
No, I never saw this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Quite a few of us then. All right.
But what I
guys,
loved was that the
I'll give you the
episode
list of
gets
all the spoilers.
right into it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't waste any time. It's like it's a very exciting opening.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too, because
Yeah.
I feel like usually shonens take their sweet time.
Not anymore, which is kind of crazy. Naruto started the whole, Naruto came out the same time as, these three. They're called, the big three, usually, which were, animes called, One Piece, Bleach, and then you had Naruto. And so they all kind of,
I've heard of
Get-
all of those.
yes.
Yeah.
Which were all shown in, I would say, me, Katie, Emily, Lou's, and Simona's youth. I wouldn't say Joe because it didn't come out during the time.
I remember.
Was it
those.
on
Yeah.
Cartoon Network still?
Well,
One
well-
Piece was shown on 4Kids and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I wasn't
when-
sure.
when
I
did
wasn't
these come
sure.
out?
Bleach was on Toonami all the time. I could never. I
Naruto
kind of
came
hated
out in
Bleach even as a
2002.
kid.
Yeah, Toonami was kind of a big mecca for anime in the U.S. They were the ones that were
Toonami.
trying to show and
Yeah.
bring it over here.
Yeah.
But yeah. But all the shonens all tend to get you used to the character, kind of get you into their headspace for a little bit, for 1 to 3 episodes, and you're like, okay, cool. I get it.
I was just thinking of like Dragon Ball Z, where like the smallest plot points take a couple episodes.
I think they all
Think
took a
about
note
3.
from that and were like,
No more.
no.
Though
Yeah.
I don't
doesn't
know,
stop them
I've
from
heard about
every battle.
Bleach having like 100 episode sections that are filler. So
I went back and rewatched it all, and I was just like, it's 15-minute. You have to skip every beginning of Bleach after a certain point, because then you only get like 10 minutes of an episode, because then they do recaps.
Yeah.
It's like, here's what happened in the last episode. This was before like streaming.
Yes.
They were all like,
Yeah.
here you go.
That was so annoying. You wait a whole week, and then half the episode is the last half of last week's
You're
episode.
like, I got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I almost
Not to say that
forgot how
Naruto-
things
yeah.
are. But that's what surprised me, because it's almost like you were taken in the middle of a story. But I liked it because it was like it was quickly paced, but you got a good enough feel for who these characters are. Like Naruto is just like a ball of energy. You know, I love the scene where he's being chased by the older people because he's defaced. I was gonna call it Mount Rushmore. I know it's not Mount Rushmore, but that's what I thought when I saw it.
It's the stone statues, it's the stone faces of the
village leaders.
previous Hokage.
But that's what I was thinking when
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like,
very-
because he's
very
defaced it, and they like
goofy that
want
they
to
have
get
Mount
him.
Rushmore in their secret village.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on, alright. There's a lot of things you make fun of in Naruto. Okay, come on.
and
The fact that
is-
they're a
is-
That
business
was
society.
That was affectionate. I wasn't taking it to task.
Okay,
I
I was
just thought
gonna
it was
hold on.
funny.
Yeah.
Is Naruto the one? Were they the ones that started the whole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't start it, but definitely became more mainstream about it.
Who started it then?
I want to say there's old ninja anime from like Ninja Scrolls. They used to do that. Like all ninja were all represented by they tried to show how quick they could run, and they thought that like, you know, hey, if we animate them kind of like going forward with their hands just slightly backwards, they're way more aerodynamic. It makes it look like they're running faster.
We should try running like that.
Oh, there you can see a lot of videos of some
I still
poor,
do.
unfortunate teenagers running like that. So
It's still, it's a good way to cringe your friends out. I still do it occasionally with Brian. I'm like, Brian, let's go. But it's usually when no one else is looking, but it's just me and him, and he's like, stop it. Like, no.
Wait, you run that way?
Sometimes just to like
Annoy him?
annoy him. I'm like, Brian, let's go.
I like that.
It makes it more aerodynamic.
You should test that out. Now that we're closed, can you do that?
It has been tested as false. It does not make you run any faster.
No.
So, what did you think about the reveal that he was being betrayed by Mizuki? That I was like,
I can't say it was too shocking, considering you only met Mizuki 5 minutes before he betrayed Naruto. So I was just kind of like, okay, I guess that's his deal. But
Yeah.
I liked it though. I liked what was the sensei's name?
Iruka
sensei.
Iruka was
Iruka.
sick. I really liked him.
He's a great man.
Yeah.
He is such.
Good boy.
He becomes like such a father figure to Naruto. Their whole relationship really like builds throughout not only Naruto but Naruto Shippuden, and it's a great relationship that Naruto has with Iruka.
I liked in the classroom when you could see there were two characters that seemed to have more distinctive designs, and they were Sakura and Sasuke, and I was
Yep.
like, yep, all right, they're setting them up good.
Main characters right there.
it's cute though. I like the tests that he gives. I was legit cracking up when Naruto transforms and he's a sexual and his teacher just gets the nosebleed and just
It's called his sexy jutsu.
Oh.
Yeah, why does he get a nosebleed?
Harem nujutsu.
That's anime
Yeah.
stuff.
It even
They
happens in
always do
dramas.
that.
It's
Yeah.
a way to represent like it's too much.
Oh.
happens in dramas too.
It's like when you strain yourself, it feels like your head's gonna pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like so embarrassed or something like that. Yeah. Strong emotions. Strong emotions.
I don't think there's much basis in reality there.
There is
You know.
not. No, that is another thing that people went online like. It's like one of those tropes that someone definitely looked up in their lifetime and were like, "Is this real?" And scientists have been like, "No,
But it's
No.
funny.
Yeah,
Well, of course it's fun.
But it's funny.
Of course
It's
it
like
is.
running to school with the toast in your mouth.
You've never run to school with toast in your mouth,
No,
Joe?
that's not how
Pop-Tart?
you eat toast.
I've had some I've had to eat a Pop-Tart on the go though.
Yeah, but like in anime, whenever they're doing it, they always just have the toast directly in their mouth and they're holding it like with their teeth.
I gotta go. I'm gonna be late for school.
The art for this was really lovely too. I was
Yeah.
kind of surprised. I was like, oh, I guess this is before anime went over to like digital animation because like all the backgrounds looked like really nice watercolors and stuff.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I loved. I loved the design of
Yeah.
his hometown. It was really
Even
nice.
just like the action scenes were really nicely animated too.
Mhm.
Like I liked there was one effect where like it was like Naruto would like land, but like he was still moving. The ground
Yeah.
was moving, and
So it was sliding almost.
yeah, it just looked really cool.
Yeah.
Naruto's interesting because what's fun about watching Naruto like through all of its airing was that you got to watch like Naruto from the beginning and watching how the animation just got better and better and better through the
Yeah.
years as digital animation. Like the fight scenes become way better choreographed.
Yep.
Like as it goes on, the fluidity, the movement, everything just gets so good. Like towards the end, everything just so good. Except
Yeah.
for when you like pause it, because it's one of those things where it's like a frame by frame.
Yeah,
but they
it's
do like the
near frames.
simplistic,
Yeah.
and there's all these like funny memes later on where it's like Sasuke. It looks like he's just like. "Whoa."
I just have
But-
a question. It's probably a monetary reason, but is there a reason why characters always have the same clothing and hairstyle, even if years have passed?
It's easy to identify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be in the
Okay.
case of Naruto. It's more of like I would assume a clan-based
Yeah.
outfit.
Okay. Alright.
Because if you like later on in the show when they start introducing like the big families, like Shikamaru's clan, his dad practically wears the same thing.
Yeah.
You have
Okay.
Sakura, not really Sakura's family because we don't really meet them.
Yeah.
Choji's family wears a lot of the same. It depends on
Ino's
them.
father
The Hyuga clan with Hinata and
I feel
Neji.
like
and Nenji.
yeah, they do that in a lot of just all animation.
Yeah,
American
and I
stuff
mean,
too.
It's easier to draw like kind of like one set of clothes versus like
Yeah, the
multiple.
only show I can think of that doesn't do it is Adventure Time, and even they only do it for PB and Marcy.
And I
Yeah.
mean, when you get into Naruto Shippuden, their clothing changes.
except for Ino.
Oh.
Except for Ino.
Except
Yeah,
for Ino.
I guess I've just seen stuff from like later in the series when he's older and like the jacket fits him better, but I was kind of like, oh, it's cute that it's like way too big for him. Like,
And I mean, it's not all orange and blue. It's like black and orange,
Yeah.
and they're
Sasuke gets like 4 outfits. Naruto
Well,
gets like
that's-
2.
He goes through a lot more changes.
It's true. Clothing represents change.
Who's the fan favorite?
Of Naruto?
Yeah.
Character-wise.
Yeah. Like, if you ask the fandom, who's like the
In the beginning, I assume the fan favorite was Sasuke because we all love, like, emo children.
I
Brooding
Sasuke-
emo children.
I mean,
Maybe when you are 12,
Yeah.
you might
Yeah.
relate to Sasuke.
But then you get
but-
older and you realize Sasuke
Yeah.
ain't.
no.
And then later on the fan polls, but these are characters way later on. There's a character, Rock Lee becomes like a fan favorite despite the fact that he looks weird. When you
But-
first meet him in the show, it's like weird, but I really respect him.
But yeah, I mean,
He's a-
Rock
he's a
Lee is
wolf.
like one of those
Kakashi,
characters
too.
that you can just love, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was Kakashi.
Kakashi's great.
He's still a
Yeah.
fan favorite to this day.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first novels that were written after the entire manga series had ended was Kakashi's story.
Yeah.
So everyone likes them. Nobody really liked Naruto in the beginning because
Well,
it was loud,
Yeah.
That's silly.
but that's typical for like shonen manga and anime in general. Is that you're not really supposed to like.
honestly, I was expecting him to be more annoying than he was because I just remember people always making fun of him for that, and I was like, nah, this kid's kind of charming.
This episode isn't as egregious as other
Okay.
ones.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are other ones that he does way more annoying things.
Oh, okay.
He just like shouts a lot, but then they took that a step further in like other things where they made fun of it. But
Yeah.
he becomes very loud. It's just very loud. It's like bring the decibels down, guy. They can hear you. You're standing right in front of him.
Do you learn why he was chosen to contain the fox spirit? Or it was just
Yes,
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
In a
But
very
that's,
like it's
He
a
had the whiskers. It made sense.
it's later on in the series.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we won't spoil that here.
Like, it actually, something you said stood out to me that, like, it seems like you're being plopped in the middle of a story, because you are.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch the whole series, it goes way back in the past to even the founding of the village. So, yeah, you really are being plopped in the middle of the story, and the story just surrounds this person who, like, literally just won't give up on anything, on his principles, on his friends, on his goals, and, like, what happens when someone's like that.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what it felt like to me. Like, I was like, oh, it's interesting. Like, I mean, I was still able to follow. It's not like I had difficulty, okay, whereas, like, I understood it, but it definitely felt like I'm being taken to the middle of something that's already sort of started.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, the more you watch, it's not just the story moving forward. You learn a lot of what happened before. There's so many flashback episodes, and
And it's not like flashbacks for the sake of flashbacks.
Yeah.
It solidifies things that are going on as the story is progressing, and you learn that there's more tailed beasts, and that these tailed beasts are being used in ways that they were never meant to be used, and you start feeling for these beasts. Like, I feel really bad for Kurama or Kuramon.
yeah,
Kurama.
which
Kurama.
is the name of the fox spirit in
Yeah.
Naruto.
Oh,
Yeah,
common
because
name
you're
from fox
introduced to
spirits.
him as, like you said, you're right in the middle of a story. You see the Kurama as being this massive nine-tailed fox beast that's just wreaking destruction. But as the story goes on, you find out why that's the case.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I was just gonna say though, based on this first episode, it's definitely something that I would want to continue watching. Like, it grabbed my attention, so I started watching Inuyasha because Katie recommended it, and I'm loving it. I'm still like 16, 17.
Do you hate Kikyo yet?
I don't think she's
not-
gotten to Kikyo yet.
No, I've definitely got into Kikyo.
Okay.
Right now,
We both don't like Kikyo.
right now I
You'll
don't have
hate
a
her.
problem with
Don't
her.
Wait,
but-
just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait.
So,
Don't worry.
Are all the ninja weapons as goofy as the giant throwing star?
Yeah, didn't it stab him in the back?
That was crazy.
And he was
That was
like-
the size. That was the size of a man.
It gets better.
It's depends
I'm
on
fine with goofy weapons.
I mean,
it's
it-
animated. It's half the
There
fun.
are some interesting weapons as the series goes on that you'll find.
And
it's
Also,
like
interesting jutsu, because
Yeah.
it's like they try to say, oh, it's from these elements, and then it's like, but this has nothing to do with elements.
right.
Where's
So
it
I think
from?
it's like almost based on. It depends upon the character.
Yeah.
Depends upon like the weapon or the
Yeah.
jutsu that they're using.
I'm just amazed that he could carry that.
He's jumping through trees and stuff.
No, like that is legit. Like, that's amazing, and that takes dedication. But I was wondering, like,
later
how
on,
does
there's
he
one that
carry
Sasuke carries. It's even bigger. It's like
Yeah.
a really
Yeah.
big. It's just massive.
The bit when they were both running through the trees and he was like, "How did you know I wasn't?
That was cool.
I wasn't him." And he's like, "'Cause I'm him." that was pretty awesome.
Darn those
Yeah,
clones.
I like that. It's like the Mission Impossible thing where they pull the mask off.
Yeah. I think my favorite part in that first episode is when Naruto learns the multi-shadow clone jutsu, which is like going to be his signature thing throughout the entire series.
I gotta say, Mizumi's plan was pretty awful.
Yeah.
I was struggling at one point to even think like, why does he even need Naruto for this?
And I said that to Emily. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why he doesn't just take the scroll. Why he didn't just take the scroll himself? And I was just like, that seems like a plot hole there.
Is that something we learn as we go along?
What?
Well, because
Why he wanted Naruto to do it?
he's
No.
the
He was an easy scapegoat, I guess.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the he's
Everyone already
the,
hates him.
yeah,
so
'cause
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
just
I
give
thought it
him
would
the
be
thing.
something like
No,
there's
it's
a reason
really,
behind it.
It's really just because he's the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox spirit who
Oh, okay.
destroyed their village and killed a whole bunch of
And
their
did you hate it when
people.
he was trying to get Urika to like turn against Naruto? Like I was
Yes.
like, that will not happen. Like
Well,
I don't know these characters yet.
Way
Yeah,
too
that
long
was a bad pause.
there.
That was like the pause where he's like, Oh, I see Naruto over there. Let me now add this second part to the sentence.
And it's because he lost his parents to the nine-tailed fox.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, this is
He's not the only one.
this is
Right.
kind of early in the turn of Iruka's relationship with Naruto, because their relationship was very different before, and you learn more about that.
Yeah.
So he is still dealing with that pain of losing his parents and like having to actually deal with this child that
It's like a
everyone
constant
blames for that, but
reminder.
it's not
Yeah.
his fault.
yeah.
So
It's like, it's not Naruto's
really-
fault. He was
no.
a baby. He didn't get consent. He didn't say, "Yeah, I'll take on the fox spirit."
was
well, if
born
anything,
for
he
this.
actually
Yeah.
saved the village by doing that. He's
Yeah.
a hero, and
But-
people are unwilling or unable to see that
Right.
at this point.
Not until much later.
Yeah.
I felt sorry too because Amanda has brought up the swing. I did feel sorry about that. The swing
Everybody
character.
remember that swing.
Yeah, because I felt
Going
so
forward.
bad. Like when he fails, he doesn't graduate to be, and he's just sitting on that swing alone. And then the mothers are like bad mouthing him, like he's the only one that didn't do it. I wanted to slap him, like leave him alone.
It's yeah, but it's like signifying also that he doesn't have parents. He never
Yeah.
knew his parents. He's alone and an outcast, and everyone despises him because they know that he has the fox spirit in him.
If watching anime has taught me anything, it's that if you're an orphan, people make fun of you.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Like, every time it's like, oh, he lost his parents. You're like, oh, no. And they're like, isn't that the kid who lost his mom? That's really depressing. I don't want my kid hanging out. It's like, he just doesn't have any parents. He doesn't have the plague.
Yeah.
You can touch him and talk to him and be like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Give him some food or something.
I know. I've always hated that too. You see that in dramas too. It's like that's the worst crime that a child can commit. Is like you're without parents. It's like I don't.
It's even worse if they don't have a mom or
Yeah.
a dad. If one parent's missing, then everyone in the neighborhood's like, we know why they left.
Yeah.
She was probably a bad lady. And they're like, my mom wasn't a bad lady at all. And it's like, was she? Was he?
I
What
think
happened to him?
in addition to marking him as like an outsider from his peers, it also he doesn't have an adult defender for him his
Right.
whole life, and also he has behavior that's just obnoxious to every other adult in the village. So they
Yeah.
have no reason why they would want their children to be with him at all.
The
They couldn't
government
have him.
has failed him. That's not a message. Right there.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be, like, anyone even taking care
Yeah.
of him. Like,
He gets stipends. Here you go.
Yeah, he gets
Naruto.
money, but that's about it.
I
He's got his
mean,
little
That's
frog wall.
insane.
He lives off ramen, which is usually pretty salty.
And like it's even worse when you go back in time and you see him younger, and he was alone when he was pretty young.
yeah, a young
Kid crying
child
on the
cannot
street.
make financial decisions. Like,
Well, that's why he lives off ramen.
yeah.
Well, you also realize, like, kind of later on, like, you have Naruto, and he actually has friends in the classroom. You just don't see it in the beginning because they want to develop that later on. And, like,
Yeah.
you have, like, Shikamaru, who has always accepted him
Mm-hmm.
for who he is and never really cared. They were kind of the
But
troublemakers,
they're
though, so.
they're fair weather friends. They're not
Yeah.
real friends to him. Not
Yeah.
until much later in the series, because
don't think
none
they
of them are
realize
actually
that.
there. Yeah, they're little kids.
They'll never be there
Yeah.
for him at, like,
Yeah.
9 years old.
Yeah.
But they will ditch
I mean,
class.
it's also a lot for friends to be like there for a 9-year-old who's abandoned and alone. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't see someone
Yeah.
doing that and being like, is this right or wrong? What's going on?
yeah, when
Yeah.
you're like 10, I don't
Yeah.
think you can really process that
Yeah.
and be like, oh yeah, no, don't worry, we'll help you
Yeah.
out, man. We'll get you food. Like,
They're like, we can't do that. We've got
Yeah.
status.
Yeah.
or yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention, so I've watched the whole thing. I love the music in Naruto.
Yes.
Like, I listen to it a lot, actually.
I actually have it in a
yes.
playlist.
Yeah, it's really good music.
Yeah.
And, so I just
I
wanted to
I mean,
mention that.
I
It's
especially
memorable.
love the music when you have Naruto actually like accomplishing something that heavy drum beat and all that.
Yes,
It's like I get so emotional
Yeah.
when I hear
toward the
it.
beginning of the episode, they had like a synthy rock song going,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought at first I was like, they had to put this in for the English dub, right? And then I went to the Japanese audio. I was like, no, they didn't. This
The
is just
opening?
awesome. Yeah, that rule.
They-
I was like, oh.
When I was first starting to like collect anime like on DVD and like Blu-ray and stuff like that, I bought like Naruto like season 1 box set 1, and growing up with it on like Cartoon Network, I had the same reaction. I was like, what is this? And it took me a while to be like, and like Brian loves Naruto, but he's like, I hate that song.
I was
and I'm
just-
like, I want to watch. So I sing it occasionally in the house just to like make it.
I liked it. I was just surprised. I was like, oh, I
And the
didn't.
ending theme is different as well.
Ending
so.
theme opening up with the Amen break. I was like, yes.
I would say that
Give me that early
that
2000s.
Naruto and Naruto Shippuden has really good opening intros and outros.
Yeah. Yeah.
In anime.
A lot of them are done with a one group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the group?
I think they're called Flow.
Okay.
There's Asian Kung Fu Generation, which
Yeah.
does a couple. Nico Touches the Wall is another band.
Yeah.
There's Overworld never did one. But I think the most popular Naruto song was After a While was Sign, which came out during like towards the end of Naruto's run. But just the opening graphics for that song and like everything, just
Yeah.
the culmination of everything.
I think it's pretty remarkable that Naruto started in 2002 and then ended in 2017. That's like, I don't really know that many animes that run that long, that consecutively, and have such...
Detective Conan still going.
Go.
And One Piece is by far now surpassed.
Well, yes, but I mean, like,
everything else. I actually think it surpassed Detective Conan.
No
at some
way.
point.
That's
And
I mean-
episode
crazy.
count, 'cause
But,
now
like-
they just do movies.
Amanda, but like at the time it was, I don't think really heard of, unless you count Dragon Ball Z.
it was very long, especially for like new
Yeah.
people coming on.
I mean, I don't think DBZ ran for that long. It probably was like 10 years, maybe, right?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not well versed in Dragon Ball Z. I'm not a fan. I remember in like elementary school, people were like, "Watch it," and I tried, and I got in the middle of Cell Saga, and I was like, "I don't like this."
Yeah,
And
big
as an
merch
adult,
stuff.
I was
Look,
like, "Can't do it."
you
No,
just-
no merch
No?
of Dragon Ball Z. I refuse.
You just gotta watch the Kai re-edit, because that
Oh,
one
God.
makes
Oh,
it-
no.
What do you mean? That one just cuts out
That's
all
what
the
I was
staring. It's good.
It's true.
I'm
they
thinking
did
about the
have
other
long
one.
stairs.
Yeah.
I used
I
to. I
can't
was
do
watching.
Dragon Ball.
what-
I can't
what
do
other
any
one
of
are
the
you
plot.
thinking
I was
about?
thinking about GT. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's
Everyone
not
goes
a re-edit.
discussing,
That's,
no.
yeah, that's just a.
GT was
that was just a
awful.
bad follow-up.
I respect Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I respect the creator highly for like influencing a lot of like the newer generation anime.
Yeah.
But as far as like plot and character design and everything about it, I just can't do it. These character designs are not to my liking. I am not a fan of huge muscular people, well defined
Well,
muscular people.
then,
Not my
then
thing.
check out my good friend Majin Buu.
No. I know who it is. I know enough about the series.
He's
at
the
this point
pink guy,
'cause-
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a big pink guy. He rules.
No, I used to love Dragon Ball Z. I used to watch that from middle school. I used to come back home and watch it with my brother and my sister, and we was like, I loved it because you could end on a fight, and then 5 episodes later they were still fighting. It was awesome.
Yeah, it only ran
no
for 7
time ever
years.
passed.
I couldn't do
How long did it last?
7
Yeah,
years.
7 years?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never watched it.
No time ever passed. So did you ever watch like the reveal about Vegeta? Like what happened to his parents? What really happened?
Vegeta just rules.
I
just like that he's just awful.
you
when he
are
hangs out with
breaking
them.
my heart.
I said I
I think-
respect this series and the creator for everything they have done in influencing culture, but as for me, I cannot get into its plot. I cannot get into its characters. Cannot get into its design. Can't do it. It's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at this point. I can't do it. I can't.
Which is fine.
It's just I look at it and I'm like, it's just unappealing to me.
It's okay.
Do you
I
have
said I
anything
respect
else about the anime, Lou? Because I feel like we haven't really heard from you all that much.
I dug it. I was pretty into it. Emily saw my reactions
Yeah.
firsthand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting to see someone who didn't know he had a fox spirit in him.
Yeah, I had
like
no- I
I
had
was
no
like,
idea.
oh,
Yeah.
most people know that before they start watching the show.
Yeah, I literally
Yeah.
had no idea about anything. So I was pretty into it, and pretty surprised by a lot of things. So if the whole point of this is would I watch it again? Yeah, I think I would keep watching.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you a list to get rid of all this filler.
Yes, yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. There are a lot of episodes. I don't know if I'll watch.
I said,
But
think
like,
most
if
of it
it's
is
on,
fillers.
if it's on, I'll vibe to it because this
Yeah.
was a good time. I liked it way more than I was expecting to.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
Yeah, same.
It's just like 500 episodes. That's a tall order.
You can
Well,
skip like whole
yeah.
seasons. I remember we were really angry. We were trying to catch up on Shippuden
Yeah.
at one point because we waited for it to finally end.
Yeah.
And there was one season we watched 2 episodes, and then the rest was filler. And I was like, "Shut up!" And we were so mad because the next season hadn't come out because he was watching it dubbed.
Okay.
And the next season, he was like, "Well, when's the next season?" I was like, "It's not dubbed yet." He's just like, "This is so stupid. I'm not watching this."
Oh.
And I'm like,
I loved Shippuden. I didn't even feel like it had a lot of filler to me.
Yeah, I loved Shippuden.
later on, it started to have more filler
Oh well,
as it was going on.
after
yeah.
the natural end of the
Yeah.
series, there is filler, but you can just stop watching because
Don't-
it's the
don't-
natural
don't-
end
don't
of the
go to
series.
this. We'll see. Don't go to
Boruto!
Don't-
Boruto!
No.
I don't know anything about Boruto. I don't know if it's good or not. I just think it's funny that he's named Boruto.
Yeah, so
That's his son.
So
I know. Yeah.
I actually do watch Boruto. And the reason I started watching is because I watched Shippuden and I was like, I love these characters so much, I want to see more. And also Sasuke does redeem himself to some extent in Boruto.
Yes. No. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
were arcs I had to just flat out skip. Like they were unwatchable, like
Oh, no.
unwatchably boring. But when they're actually doing things, it's very interesting.
I have the anime movie that goes with
That's
Boruto,
all you need.
and that's really all. Yeah,
All you need. That's what you only need.
yeah.
That's
Watching Boruto actually see how powerful his father is and what it all implies is top notch.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to watch Boruto. It's more of a like once in a while be like, oh, I'll watch an episode of this.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird too because like the manga itself was like he didn't do the artwork for this one because he wanted to. Masashi Kishimoto is the creator of Naruto, and his big dream was to create a science fiction. He's always wanted to write a science fiction story, to which he tried, and I can't tell if it's ongoing still because I got into it and I dropped out. I had to go back and see, but I have heard no one talk about it. To which then he went back to Boruto, and he got together with an artist that was who worked under him, so he knew how to like the designs and everything. But as I see the covers progress, I keep seeing character designs that are very interesting.
Well,
At some point,
Well, so one of the, like, and I know this is really off topic, but one of the plot points of the show, at least, is like the increase in use of like what they call ninja tools and technology ninja tools to the point where there are people that actually have them embedded in their body, so it changes their.
I think that's where he tried. He was like, "It's not working for my new one, so let's put the technology
yeah,
in
exactly.
people."
Like, there's definitely
I-
more of a.
I have a lot of respect for that, honestly. That's cool.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of shifts in like the whole community, which it actually does really follow with the Naruto storyline because part of the storyline is that as when Naruto's a child, it's supposed to be like, oh, this isn't really a war period. You kids don't know war. And then there ends up being a
You
war.
don't know war.
But now, again, it's another period in which there's no war and there's a lot of peace, but that ends up causing trouble because now these smaller groups want to, like, make trouble because they're like, well, you guys don't know how to fight anymore. So it kind of, like, flows.
What a
with
bunch of
this.
losers.
And then also it's really interesting because Naruto grew up without a father, like, seeing him act as a father and where he fails and where he's, like, doing well and stuff.
Yeah.
So. But that movie covers that pretty well.
Yeah, yes, it does.
So that's all you need. I thought it was an interesting concept at first. Like, I kind of wanted to just see, like, a little, like, afterwards. Like, I could have just done, like, maybe an OVA, like a 1 or 2 episode thing. Like, oh, where are they now? Let's see what's going on in the future. Kids, yeah.
Yeah.
There were some pairings that I was like, wait a minute. That I had to go back and be like, how did they meet? Did they meet? What's going on? How did this progress?
Oh.
There were just, like, I think a couple that I was like,
Well, Choji's.
yeah.
That was the
mainly.
one that,
I was like,
that surprised me the most. But
I was like, Choji had a
okay.
kid, and I was like, oh. But
Yeah.
who's his, like wife or, like, the mother? And I was just like, did they even talk?
Well, it makes sense because everyone met each other
Yeah.
Yeah.
during the war.
So, like...
This is true. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Although the Rock Lee and 1010 one did get me, too. I was like, hold on. Because she was never really...
She's with Shikamaru.
No,
no,
not
1010. I'm
That's-
sorry, 1010.
that's
I got,
Tamari.
I'm sorry, I got
Tamari, no,
confused.
that was the
Tamari.
only
So
couple
wait,
that mattered.
No, because Rock Lee's... Yes, you're right. It is the only couple that they actually established a story for.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, no, okay. That is not actually revealed, though.
No.
You don't know who Metal Lee's mother is.
No. How did you find out that it was 1010?
I didn't. I looked it up and I said
Yeah.
it's not established. She's
That's
the
what
one
I
who
thought.
said
I
it.
looked it up, too, and I was
Oh.
like, wait a minute. Rock Lee had a kid. Who's the mom? They're like, everyone was like 1010. And I went, okay. How?
I guess 1010
What?
is kind of like, because she doesn't
They
seem to
had to
indicate
do
that she's-
something with her. They were
I
like,
guess.
No, she is important in the.
She is later on,
She
though.
has a whole store. She's doing stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad she's doing stuff.
All of the main characters are in the future still.
That was the one big gripe with, I think, the original Naruto run, though, was that everyone until, like, she was, like, almost, like... The one thing Masashi Kishimoto has a problem with is, like, you know, really writing for, like, the women of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, like... I think he didn't know what to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, like, Shippuden, she becomes, like, really big and important for the war, and then it's like, that's it. And
Yeah.
it's like... Cool! I was really happy to see her get some screen time, but then, like... I'm like... Write about her more.
Yeah.
She was cool.
That's in Boruto, the girls are written much better.
I think
There's
because
a
he's
lot more girls
consulter
too.
now.
Yeah.
He more
Yeah.
consults. Like they say, he writes it, but it's
Yeah.
like I think he's more of a consultant.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
for
the
consistency.
female characters are written a lot better.
I just have to say that I love that Naruto and Hinata.
Yeah.
You love that.
Yeah.
They what?
Nothing.
I mean,
We love that they're
is
best
it really
friends.
a spoiler? It doesn't have any
Yeah.
weight on the
Yeah.
show at
No,
all.
it's really not a spoiler. They end up together.
They end up
I
together.
don't think we even met Hinata.
Yeah, who's
Yeah.
Hinata?
She's in his class. She's like a shy girl. He's
Oh,
like,
okay.
Oh, the one in the mind. That
Oh
you know
yeah,
what she's
that
thinking.
cute girl.
No,
Oh,
that's Sakura.
no, that
no,
isn't that the one?
Sakura's the pink-haired one.
Yeah.
Because there's one that looks like
Yeah.
she doesn't have any pupils in her eyes.
Yeah, that
That's
one.
Hinata.
And she was thinking something, and you
Yeah,
heard what she
you
was
never
thinking.
see Hinata talk to Naruto in
Yeah.
the beginning. It's her,
It's
like,
all-
kind of in the corner, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw, she's his little
I like
cheerleader. Aw.
Yeah, she's,
Yeah, but
she's
then-
like, you could do it, Naruto, or something.
Like
Yeah.
further
And
along in this series, she gets more confident in talking to him and stuff like that, even though she's really shy.
Mm-hmm.
everyone's got problems.
Yeah.
So they get together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's satisfying.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
But Naruto was popular then and is still currently incredibly popular. It's
Yeah,
a
teens
lot
at
of
the
people's
teen room
first
in
smell.
Austin take out Naruto all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is a story that does span. It follows the formula of like a hero's journey, the classics, following a character from rough upbringings to like, you know, follow his dreams. As much as Naruto in the anime is annoying to me to, you know, decibel level,
I
you
will.
have to like
I mean, I will not to interrupt you,
No, you go.
Amanda.
But she's gonna.
I am going. But I mean that what I think the show does really good is that it develops its characters really well. So Naruto does not remain that annoyingly obnoxious character for
Was
very
that-
long.
Was I the only one that when I saw their shoes, I was kind of concerned? It's like they have open-toed front shoes, and it's like these are
they're
ninjas.
special shoes.
They're running around like rocks, like things could hurt them.
That is a
Later on,
criticism
you'll
I've
see
heard from
girls
other
running
people.
around in heels.
All right, so it's not just
The
me.
heeled versions of
Yes.
them. And you're just like, how is that practical? There's a lot of things like I
They're
remember.
ninja, so it doesn't matter.
I remember like when like going through the series, that was one of the big questions like in the internet culture, which was like a lot of these outfits are very impractical and they're not stealthy.
Yeah,
Like, Sakura's
no.
literally wearing like a red outfit with
He's
a
wearing
target.
orange.
Yeah,
He's
Naruto's
wearing
bright
orange.
orange. That thing
Like-
probably has reflectors on
But
it.
like, if you think about it, he doesn't want to be like stealthy.
He
and then,
should be. Though.
I know,
He's gonna be
but
so
his-
Hokage one
but-
day.
that's
his-
why he's having trouble graduating.
But his character is so like
To ditch
not.
the uniform.
Is so like not subtle or stealthy in any way, so it makes sense for him to be wearing
That's
orange.
why they all have clones.
Yeah.
They can't be stealthy with their outfits, so that's why they have to rely on clones.
get
I
it.
agree with you, but like in the show, the ninjas frequently have to be stealthy. So
I do understand that, but
they
how
all
and
have
often?
also, a
like
lot
the
of people
Umbu
don't have
Blaggles.
stealthy outfits. Like,
This
a lot
is
of people
true.
have scarves. I don't understand the scarves hanging off their
It's
body.
gotta be like 86 degrees
Or, like,
out.
all the girls that just don't have their hair up. So,
Yep.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Well, well, when we watch my pick, I'll talk about that too.
What I also love about the show too, though, is that you meet other Jinchurikis and you see how their personalities like develop,
And then we meet Killer Bee.
and then you meet Killer Bee. Yeah, which is a really fun
best one.
character.
But
I like
one.
you meet this Jinchuriki Gara from the village hidden in the sand, and your heart just goes out to this character, and of course Naruto befriends him in a really dramatic and awesome way. I'll leave it at that.
Masashi Kishimoto, why'd you do my boy dirty?
Yeah.
Why'd you do Gara so dirty at the very end?
I
Why'd
know.
you give him that ridiculous haircut? I'll always resent you for this.
It is really distracting, actually.
It's like he looked good. I was like, "Ooh, he's kind of cute." And then like he got older, and I was like, "Ooh, he looking nice." And then like he becomes like the leader of his clan. And you're like, "Ooh, look at him, look at my boy grow, and he's looking good doing it." And then they give him like
Yeah.
gel, and I'm like, "Why did you do that?"
Makes no sense at all. why
Give
they
him
would
some
do that.
longer hair or something. But why'd you just? He was like, one day I'm gonna put the gel. Just
could you show me a picture? Because now I'm really curious.
I don't know, look at it.
That's the whole thing we could talk about anime hairstyles. It's like, I don't know how any of this makes sense, but
Lots of.
Oh, it's so
I hate it so much. I hate looking at him. They like
you know,
so before,
oh,
after,
it just looks flatter.
Yeah.
before,
Oh, there you go.
after. Masashi Kishimoto, fix it. This is not
just
the
looks
ending
like
I wanted.
They gave him a lot of gel and a comb.
Yeah.
Do you know what's a bit
In
more
the sand
disturbing?
village.
Not necessarily the haircut, which I can kind of get on board that train, because the eyes are what's really like bugging
Well,
me
that's
out.
how he's always been.
Yeah,
Because
that's how
he's
it's
a
always been.
his
spirit
animal's a
that-
raccoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got dark eyes because he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
He's never been able to sleep.
Well,
Because everyone's trying to
So
murder him.
So maybe he got it
His
gel
dad
so he
tried
would
to-
avoid bed hair.
Mhm.
No, he doesn't sleep, so he doesn't have bed hair.
no, the reason he can't sleep is because the spirit will take over when he falls asleep.
That's true, yeah.
So how does he function?
Well, you'll have
Very
to,
poorly.
Yeah.
Very
poorly.
poorly. He's worse
He's-
off than Naruto was. Naruto got a home, and like people just didn't like him.
Aw.
But at least his dad didn't try to kill him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you give him a break on the haircut then?
And also,
No,
like, yeah, they-
my boy went through too much trauma to look good, and then like they decided healthy growth means he discovered hair gel.
Naruto does this a lot where it's like, oh, you think Naruto's story is sad? Guess what? This guy's parents are trying to kill him. This
Yeah.
person's an orphan, and so a rogue ninja's going to adopt them and abuse and use their powers.
This
like,
person's brother killed his entire family. Is also trying to kill him, and
Yeah.
Aw.
he thinks he's not
like-
even worth his time. It's like, yo, there's a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
on. It's
There's
like,
a
his
lot.
dad's dead. His dad's dead.
A lot of rogue ninjas adopting children.
I
It's
feel,
very
I feel like
Yeah.
usually shonen go for like, oh, you thought that villain was bad. Wait till you meet this guy.
That's how
I think,
Naruto
I
operates.
think it's, but I think it's funny they did it with trauma instead. They were just like,
Yeah.
But so they, and also in Naruto, one of the things they do is they kind of vindicate to some extent almost all of their villains, which is why they have to keep on going more and more villains. Even like throughout the war, the person they're fighting
Zabuza,
changes.
Not all that bad.
Yeah.
Man, not all that bad.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Madara? Not understandable. You're just being
But I
kind of a
definitely feel the
butthead.
hairstyle on the
Hot
right.
butthead.
I can kind of understand.
Yeah.
The gel back look is not doing him a ton of
I
favors.
hate it.
It's
Everybody's
very
hair,
distracting.
everybody else's hair looks pretty good. It looks like maybe it got a little longer, or like Shikamaru's is fine. He still looks the same.
Yes.
And then you have like Ten still looks the same. You have Tamara that still looks the same. Everyone looks the same except for Gaara. They decided to just go.
Amanda, how
Mad.
did that go?
It's like one day he was like, man, I really wish I looked more mature. Instead of just getting a simple haircut, he was just like, hair gel. It makes him look like 20 years older. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want you to look like you're like 50 years old and you've...
Well, he's been the Kazakage since he was
Yes.
like 15, so maybe he does look like he's 50 when he's 30.
Yeah.
It's true, but maybe make him look like he's still a young 30. Like, good-looking 30.
So is
Not... I don't want to look like my dad anymore. I'm going to put the hair gel on.
so is the raccoon like? Is he afraid because the raccoon spirit is evil, or he just?
Oh,
doesn't-
he's not nice.
No.
This is one of the things, like, Katie was saying, that you learn more about the spirits and they become more sympathetic. But at first, like, they're kind of being imprisoned against their will, so it makes sense that they are, like,
Angry?
act evilly towards the
Upset.
village that has imprisoned them.
like,
Yeah.
because they're seen as weapons, not like entities that have their own feelings or their own intelligence.
Aw.
They're monsters. Why would they have feelings?
Yeah, exactly. They're
And
yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
And each Jinchuriki kind of, you learn, has their own relationship
With their
with theirs. Gara
So-
just
so-
had the bad one.
So, so Gara,
But his
Gara
is
couldn't
particularly
say,
obstinate.
like, I
Yeah.
know you're
Raccoon's very
upset, but can you
obstinate
let
creature.
me get, like, some 4 hours of sleep? They couldn't work that out?
no.
So that's kind
Aw.
of the whole kind of build, is that you've learned Naruto. So in Naruto, and they kind of established this in the first episode, all their like ninja arts kind of come from a magical power within them called chakra, which it's just part of being a ninja. You have people that have like chakra, and everyone knows what chakra is at this point. You haven't been on Instagram, then you don't know what chakra is. So chakra enables people to pull off like these clones and, you know, other
and they have
stuff.
signs that they have like finger signs that they have to
So, yes.
perfect in order to do certain jutsus and all that other stuff.
So what makes Naruto different than everyone in the village is that because he has a tailed beast inside his body, is that it also has a different source of chakra. So he's got 2 sources of chakra that is very hard to maintain. And so it's kind of him also learning about that and learning how to, you know, kind of work with 2 different kinds of chakra while also trying to understand the beast inside him. The beast inside. So much so that, you know, when you meet the other ones, you learn that they all, except for, you know, Gara, all of them have kind of come to it. Like, they're like, that's cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
I mean,
You're
you
my
really
friend.
have to read. You really have to watch this series to understand where Gara is coming from, and where his tail beast is coming
I was
from.
so
And-
obsessed with him in high school.
I
and
can see why.
He
He's
was
a redhead.
So nasty. I was just like, he's so evil.
well, he's also, like, the other, like,
It's like-
angsty character that teenagers love. Like,
Yeah.
Like, Sasuke didn't do it for me, but then Gara came on and he's like, I'm gonna murder everybody. And I'm just like, yeah!
he says things like that.
Yep.
He does. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. He's like, his siblings are
I
like,
mean-
yo, can you stop trying to murder people? He's like, no.
He's definitely
that's a
like
good
the juxtaposition of
Yeah.
what Naruto could have become,
Yes, yeah.
which is
The,
My demon didn't
the
let me sleep.
swirly
I
thing
wanted
on
to kill
Naruto's
it,
stomach,
too.
was that what he was born with, or that's a
That's
mark
the
of
seal.
that's
the
a
beast?
seal.
Okay, good.
And again, you find out later on in the series how that all happened.
Okay. Does Gara, like, does he find happiness? Does he
Yes,
find...
Yes.
no, yes,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
kind of why, I'm not gonna lie, out of all the characters who've been built in Naruto, I think Naruto and Gara are some of the strongest character building.
Yeah.
Because you go from Gara being this very tired, very angry child because his upbringing is far worse, to being, you know, like fighting against people, like fighting against Naruto who's just like him, and him not understanding how he can still be like positive when, like, you know, he's got a tailed beast too.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate you. You're everything I want to like fight against, and he's like, you suck.
Then they
And
become
eventually-
besties?
Kind of.
Well, yeah, they
Yeah.
do become friends. Yeah.
Nice.
And so he learns from Naruto, and that's kind of the positive of Naruto, and that's why, like, when it comes to, like, the messages, whereas there's some violence in Naruto, and that can, like, deter parents to a certain extent, it's one of those things where the message is very deep, in the sense, or not very deep, but it shows that, like, you know, someone with a positive outlook and someone who might, like, fight through trauma that they've been through to, better themselves, but not just themselves, but along the way they tend to have an influence on other people. And, like, power positivity, through awful circumstances. Very, very bad circumstances.
Yes.
So.
Yes, but they become very good friends.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bestie.
Yeah.
All right. So who wants to do our outro? Amanda, do the outro.
Oh no. So with that, this will conclude this episode of Would You Watch It? Anime Edition with Naruto. I recommend watching it. We have the manga on 2 different platforms. We have it in person where you can check out the manga. We have it to its completion. We do have the movies here as well that you can rent out.
Which are a lot of fun. I highly suggest taking them out
And we
and checking
also
them out.
have Comics Plus, which also is an app for our Maypac patrons, where you can read manga, comics, or any graphic novel
There's
at your
some
leisure.
Very cool stuff on there.
There
Highly
really
recommend it.
is. I'm a big fan of the Tezuka stuff, so it's been nice catching up on all that.
I was reading some of the Inkao. That's sick.
So with that, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.